I'm dreadfully sorry to have fallen off the face of the earth like this, but I have been rather busy. With what? Well, for one, I've been doing my summer job, spending time with my family, going on tours, and not trying to die in the blasted heat. But don't worry, in all this time I have been working on a very big, large-scale project for you all. But there is a bit of a personal story to it. Um, so back in April, me and my family were on one of our tours, and my grandmother was cruising with my grandfather in South America. And so her dog had to stay with a friend. But she was on the friend's chair, and then she fell off and fractured her jaw. My grandmother's dog's name is Sushi, by the way. And so my uncle came and picked Sushi up and took her to the vet. And the veterinarian said that he was probably going to have to euthanize her in the morning if she. And me and my family at this point were staying with a friend of my father's, and and so we were all like sitting around the counter, and my mother told me the news, and I was very worried because my grandmother loves her dog, and I would hate to see her so distraught if something were to happen to another of her loved ones. So I ran upstairs and I broke down crying, and my mother came up and told me to calm down because I was upsetting the others. And so I prayed to God, pleading for Sushi's life and saying that if she was healed, that I would make a video on like whatever moral or saying or whatever he wanted me to. And the next day, miraculously, Sushi was healed. One of the tours, I was still worrying about her, and my mother told me that she got a text telling me that Sushi was going to be all right. And I was so happy that I leaped with joy and praised the Lord Almighty. um, Although there were some other things that I said during the prayer, like first I had to finish the current stretch of videos I was working on, and then I would be able to start work on whatever video that was. And by the time those videos were finished, it was June. And so I remembered the deal, and I made a list of saints, and I was lying in bed going through the list in my head. And when it got to Joan of Arc, I heard the distinct sound, like a distinct metallic ring, like a rock hitting a metal chain fence. But there's no metal chain fences around my house, let alone one that would sound like it was right next to my ear in my loft bed on the second floor. So I knew that it was some kind of a sign. So I said, Lord, if that's you, make the sound again. And after a minute or so, I heard the sound. And then I said, if you want me to do a video on Joan of Arc, make that sound 3 times. And after 1 minute or so, I heard the sound again. 5 minutes or so, I heard it a second time. And the third time, it felt like, 5, maybe 6, 10, maybe 6 minutes or so. But I knew that I was gonna, that, so when I heard the third sound, that meant that I had to make the Joan of Arc video, obviously. Which was a greater ordeal than I had imagined, but I think I've finished most of the research, and so now I can start animating it. And thank you for your incredible patience. I'm going to see if I can do any smaller videos or any interesting little notes or anything like that to tie you over in the meantime. But thank you for your patience with me over this summer. It's been very busy.